Hey guys, so I just wanted to share a quick story. So I was working really hard as I always do, and I just felt like I should spend the weekend with, that I should take some time off to spend with them. And so I acted, very respectful, acted like, say, I want to just do things with you guys. And so I decided to carpool, and they acted like uh, having three empty seats in their car was the biggest blessing ever. And like, I was just the biggest burden for carpooling with them. And like, nobody should ever carpool, first off the bat. And then I decided to play a game with them over the weekend. So they said, "Oh, whatever. You're a big burden on us, but yeah, sure, we'll play a game with you." And so we played Settlers of Catan, and it was fun. We enjoyed it. We had a good time. And then everybody acted like they were getting sick. And so I wondered why everybody was getting sick. I didn't know why exactly. Uh, so the time comes for me to go back to my place. And on the way, I stopped to get some dates from the store. Stopped and asked for some dates. And they didn't have any. First of all, the store person, manager said they're on at 11. They weren't there. They didn't know. Had to walk in there uh, pretending that a mask works to stop viruses. Pretending to protect myself or whatever, just so that I could follow their rules. So yeah, I was like holding the mask up to my face without it actually attached to my ears and whatever. And nobody corrected me on it or anything. So anyway, I get out and I get back to the car, and one of my family says to me something like, "Oh, so you didn't find him?" I said, "No, I didn't. They didn't have any dates in there, even though they said they did, and um, they didn't have any food in there either, any real food." And they said they responded to me like, "Man, you're such a liar. How could you say that?" Just this look on their face. And I looked back and I said, "No, I didn't." And so I finally have an hour long discussion with them or so, and they say, they finally explained to me, I finally explained to them, have to explain to them, yeah, that's just my opinion. Uh, and from studying health and public health and things of that nature, I've come to the conclusion that, in fact, they don't sell anything that is legitimately food the way that most of our ancestors ate it, and according to their health standards. Yes, in fact, they do not sell anything that is legitimately food by a lot of people's standards. And so I spent a lot of time trying to figure out why it was shocking to them, and so why do you find this so wrong, basically? And so I think this says a lot about America, really, American culture. First of all, if you say anything wrong about a business or offensive, then you get shot down for it. And if you say anything, so first of all, there isn't really legitimately freedom of speech. Otherwise, people wouldn't harass you over saying your opinion about a store. And secondly, people have become so materialistic that they love businesses and people who claim to or purport to sell products over their own family members. People value products and services over their own family members. Things like cars or houses. And there's very little ability to associate with other people on just a friendly basis. So that's all I had to share with you, and thank you and love you guys so much. Cheers. And if you look at a lot of the most prosperous countries in the world, these countries have the most happy people. Truly, the most happy people reside where there are more, people that get along with one another. And when you have a lot of war of advertising and war of words and war of opinions and people fighting over which product is better among their own family members, you can't have a prosperous nation. You can't have a prosperous nation where people think that serving people at a checkout line at a fast food, so-called food business, during a recession and during a food shortage is a form of prosperity or a legitimate form of work. You can't have prosperity when those things are perpetuated, when these ideologies are perpetuated, or factory 3D printed meat. Things like this are perpetuated. It cannot be done. It cannot be prosperity. So cheers and have a great day. It is the legitimate epitome of mental illness to believe that all this is real and all this is the way that life is supposed to be lived. It is worse than dementia. It is worse than all the diseases. There ought to be, those people down in Australia really ought to think of a name for the disease that us in America has incurred upon ourselves in all these ways and in all these regards and respects. So thank you all very much, and cheers. I had to keep going just because of how astounding this stuff is, really. Cheers, everybody.